This is Wasteland Fatigue Weekly, brought to you by Fatigue Force. All right, back for another deep dive, and this time we're headed straight into the DR survival forums.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking straight from the players themselves,
A heart of the wasteland.
Exactly, the heart of the wasteland, and, there's always something interesting cooking over there, so we're going to boil it all down to the good stuff for you.
It's amazing what people are talking about over there, all the crazy stuff going on.
Absolutely. So I guess to kick things off, let's start with something, heartwarming.
Oh, okay.
Even in the post-apocalypse, there's still some good Samaritans out there.
You gotta have some faith in humanity.
Exactly. So get this, Flood Escaper 51, poor guy found himself stranded in Helsinki.
Oh, no.
Yeah, middle of winter, broken bike. Not a good situation to be in.
Helsinki in the winter? That's brutal.
Brutal's an understatement, so he's basically sending out an SOS, and another player, Yafi Yuri 8908, sees it and just jumps into action.
Wow.
Yeah, and they load up a care package, ammo, energy drinks, all the essentials.
That's what I'm talking about.
But here's the kicker. You can't share unbroken guns in DR, right?
Right.
So what does Yafi 8908 do? They gift a broken, but still usable PKM.
Wow. I mean, that's still usable.
Genius, right? Talk about going above and beyond.
That's amazing. It really shows you the good side of the DR community.
Absolutely. And it gets even better. Flood Escaper 51, ever the resourceful survivor, promises to repay the favor with cranberries when summer rolls around.
Ah, I love that.
Right? That little barter system that pops up, it's awesome.
That's the heart of the game right there.
It really is. Okay, so let's switch gears a bit and talk about something a little less heartwarming, but equally important, aggro.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It's a matter of life or death in the wasteland. And Daima Sheep, shout out to them, laid out the 4 key factors that determine who the enemy decides to attack first.
Oh, so it's not just random.
Nope, not random at all. So pay attention, folks. This could save you a lot of headaches.
I'm all ears.
Okay, so it all comes down to distance, how much damage you're dealing, the number of actions you take in combat, and believe it or not, your kill count.
Really, your kill count?
Yeah, the more you take out, the more attention you attract.
That makes sense. I guess you become a bigger threat.
Exactly. So knowing this, you can actually manipulate aggro, stay out of the enemy's sights, or even lure them into a trap.
Oh, that's sneaky.
It's all about strategy, my friend.
Well, it certainly adds another layer to the game.
Oh, absolutely. Every decision you make has consequences, especially in combat.
You can't just run in guns blazing anymore.
No, sir. Got to think things through, plan your attacks, outsmart those mutated critters.
Oh, well, I'm ready to outsmart some myths now.
Oh, you mean debunk some common misconceptions?
Exactly. Let's dive in.
Perfect, because we saw a few doozies floating around the forums.
Yeah, like the one about diesel, right?
Oh yeah, some players swear up and down that it spawns on roads or in workshops at lower levels.
I see. So they think it's just lying around for the taking.
Yep, but unfortunately, that's not the case.
Oh, really? So where do you find diesel then?
Well, it's mostly tied to specific settlements, primarily in the eastern part of the map, places like Ryazan and Izhevsk.
Ah, so you got to make the trek out east if you want to fuel up.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And trust me, running out of diesel in the middle of nowhere is not a fun experience.
I can imagine. So plan your fuel stops wisely, folks.
Words of wisdom right there.
Yeah.
Okay, next myth on the chopping block loot in bandit bases.
Bandit bases. Always a risky proposition.
Risky, but potentially rewarding. At least that's what we used to hear.
What do you mean used to?
Well, back in the day, players were reporting insane loot hauls from bandit bases.
What kind of loot are we talking about?
We're talking 4,000 steel, advanced vehicle parts, the good stuff.
Wow, that's a serious score.
Right. But now, well, it's a bit of a mixed bag.
So is it still worth the risk?
That's the million-ruble question, and the community's divided.
Some say it's been nerfed. Some say it's still a gold mine. Who do you believe?
It's a gamble. You got to weigh the potential reward against the very real risk of getting wiped out by a bandit ambush.
That's a tough call. I guess it depends on your playstyle.
Exactly. So what do you think, listeners? Bandit bases, treasure trove, or death trap? Let us know in the comments.
Hit that like button and subscribe while you're at it.
You know it. We love hearing from you guys. And while we're on the topic of things that might make you rage quit, let's talk about time-based crafting.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship, right?
Yeah.
You need those essential items, but waiting hours for them to craft can be brutal.
I feel that. I've been there.
We saw a lot of frustration in the forums, some players even suggesting a watch ad button to speed things up.
Interesting idea. What do you think about that?
Well, it would definitely give players more control over the crafting process.
Yeah, no more waiting around twiddling your thumbs.
But on the flip side, it could introduce a pay-to-win element, which might not sit well with everyone.
Yeah, it could create an uneven playing field.
It's a tough one, finding that balance between player convenience and fairness.
It's all about finding that sweet spot, I guess.
Well said. Okay, moving on to those little helpers that everyone loves to hate, the lazy elves.
Oh, those guys, there's something else.
They have their moments, but let's be real, they're not exactly known for their work ethic.
So how do you make the most of them?
Well, the community seems to agree that herbs and powders are the way to go.
Really? Why is that?
It seems like using them for car-related tasks is less efficient these days.
What do you mean?
The output of scrap and aluminum has been reduced, so it's not as worthwhile.
Ah, I see. So gotta adapt those strategies, huh?
Absolutely, the wasteland is constantly changing. Got to stay one step ahead.
All right, I'm ready for the next challenge. Hit me with it.
All right, how about a mystery that's been puzzling the entire community?
Ooh, I love a good mystery.
It's the acronym EBA.
EMBA. What is that?
That's the question everyone's asking, and no one seems to have a definitive answer.
So it's like a secret code.
It's like a whispered legend passed down through generations of survivors.
What are some of the theories floating around?
Oh, we've seen it all. A secret government project, a key to a hidden area on the map, even a lost civilization.
Wow, people's imaginations are running wild.
It's DAR. Anything is possible. So listeners, if you have any intel on EVA, we need you to spill the beans.
Yeah, drop your theories in the comments. We're dying to know.
And while you're there, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
Yeah, keep those wasteland insights coming.
Okay, let's wrap up this segment with a debate that's been raging in the forums. The value of event items.
Oh, yeah, this can be controversial.
Especially the Starf of 18 provinces. Some players swear by it, others think it's a waste of space.
So what's the deal with this scarf?
Well, it's rechargeable, so you don't have to keep buying filters, which is a big plus in the early game.
I can see the appeal there.
But once you get further along, its low radiation resistance becomes a problem.
Ah, so it's a good stepping stone, but you eventually outgrow it.
Exactly. You'll want to upgrade to a more powerful mask eventually.
Makes sense. You got to keep up with the wasteland's ever-increasing dangers.
All right. And that brings us to the end of part 1 of our DAR community deep dive.
We've covered a lot of ground, but there's so much more to explore.
Absolutely. So stick around, survivors. We'll be right back with more wasteland wisdom and some juicy insights into the upcoming update.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, welcome back to the Deep Dive Survivors. We're still neck deep in those DAR forums. See what I did there?
Oh, very clever. You're getting the hang of this wasteland lingo.
Gotta stay sharp, right? So, picking up where we left off, let's talk about something that's always a hot topic difficulty.
Oh, yeah. How tough is DAR these days?
That's the question, isn't it? And we've got players chiming in from both sides.
Some say it's too easy. Others say it's brutal.
Well, it's all relative, right? Like, Undercover Agent, they were talking about how much tougher crafting used to be.
Oh, yeah. 5 times harder, apparently.
And the radiation, forget about it.
Yeah.
Constant threat. Sounds like a completely different game almost.
It makes you wonder, though, is it really easier now, or are we all just better at the game?
I think it's a bit of both, right? We've learned a lot over the years.
Experience is key in the wasteland, that's for sure.
But then you've got players like Ravenclaw 3000 who are still struggling with the time-based crafting.
Yeah, that can be frustrating.
It's a balancing act for the developers, keeping it challenging but not a total slog.
Exactly. Slivbot86 had a good point. I think they'll find that sweet spot eventually.
Yeah, gotta have faith in the devs.
Okay, well, let's talk weapons now.
Oh yeah, what are the Wasteland Warriors using these days?
Well, the Abacon is still a popular choice. Mochi Reaper was praising its reliability.
Solid choice. A true classic.
But there are some other contenders emerging, like the Guandao Spear.
No, that's a weapon you don't see every day.
Yeah, it's a bit more niche, but Mzekri swears by it.
Gotta get up close and personal with that one, though.
Yeah, high risk, high reward.
That's DAR for you. Gotta be bold.
And remember that comeback the Hidden Dragon pistol made?
Oh yeah, Yaki Pin was tearing it up with that thing.
Level 90, and it was outperforming their PKM.
You're kidding? A pistol better than a PKM?
You never know what's going to be the next meta. Gotta keep experimenting.
And the Wasteland is the perfect testing ground.
Speaking of testing grounds, some players are really pushing the boundaries of exploration.
Yo, yeah. Venturing into the unknown. I like it.
Well, Haiku Style made the trek all the way to Moran.
It's a long way from home. What were they after?
The nuclear battery, that elusive prize in the far east corner of the map.
And they got it.
Oh, yeah, they posted a screenshot standing proud next to their loot.
What a legend. That's what I'm talking about. Gotta love seeing players achieve those epic goals.
It's inspiring, right?
It is. Makes you want to jump back into the game and explore every nook and cranny.
Well, while you're at it, why not share some of your own DayR adventures with us?
Yeah, hit us up in the comments. We want to hear about your triumphs and your close calls.
All right, moving on, let's talk about another weapon that's generating a lot of buzz, the Quillin LMG.
Ah, yeah, the one with the ricochet mechanic.
It's a bit of a love-hate relationship, isn't it?
Definitely. Bem Zekri wasn't too impressed with the trap function.
Yeah, they said it needs a damage buff.
Makes sense. A trap should be a serious threat.
But the ricochet mechanic itself, that's where things get interesting.
Yeah, it can hit multiple targets, but it can also be unpredictable.
Like Diamond Sheep said, it's a double-edged sword.
You got to be careful with that one.
And Yakapan, our resident strategist, pointed out that it's pretty much only good for the Mother Bee fight.
So, a situational weapon, not for everyday use.
But hey, it has its moments. That's what makes the DayR weapon meta so diverse.
Gotta love the variety, keeps things fresh.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this part.
We've talked difficulty, items, weapons, exploration. What else could there be?
Oh, just you wait. In part 3, we're diving into the Motherlode, the upcoming update.
Oh yeah, the one with all the juicy leaks and rumors.
Forged armor, the acid run, new items. It's going to be epic.
The Wasteland is about to get a major shakeup, and we're gonna break it all down for you.
Stick around, survivors. You don't want to miss this. We're back for the final leg of our deep dive into the DayR community, and let me tell you, the excitement is palpable.
The forums are buzzing. Everyone's talking about the upcoming update.
And for good reason, we're potentially looking at the return of some long-lost features.
Yeah, it's like a blast from the past.
Yeah.
And leading the charge is the rumor of forged armor making a comeback.
Oh yeah, remember those days? Hunting down individual pieces, forging them together, it was a whole process.
It was. It felt more, I don't know, hands-on.
Definitely. And a lot of players are feeling nostalgic about it. Like Ashen.Wood, they said, no way they're bringing it back. I haven't forged armor since 2018. I'm so excited.
I bet it's a big deal, but it does make you wonder how it'll affect the game's balance.
That's a good point. Will certain armor sets become overpowered? We'll have to wait and see.
And speaking of things that might shake things up, there's that other rumor, the one that's got veteran players sweating.
Oh, you mean the acid run?
The acid run, that's right. Now, for those who haven't experienced this delightful little challenge, picture this you, venturing into a highly radioactive zone, all for the sake of collecting acid.
Highly dangerous, highly rewarding. A true test of a survivor's mettle.
And it seems like a lot of players are itching to relive those glory days. Even Surprise Della Junkie chimed in, suggesting they bring back armor trading too.
Oh, like in the old acid run days.
Exactly. Imagine bartering for that missing helmet or those elusive pants.
It would add a whole new layer to the game. That social interaction, the strategy.
I love it. It could even lead to specialization. Some players becoming master armorers, others focusing on gathering rare materials.
A thriving wasteland economy. I can see it now.
Okay, but let's not forget about those mysterious images that have been circulating, the ones that have everyone speculating.
Oh yeah, the potassium and sulfur bags, the trophy bomb, and of course the rotten fish in a can.
What could it all mean?
Well, the potassium and sulfur bags seem like a clear sign that we're going back to a more complex crafting system.
Back to basics. Gathering raw materials, it'll definitely add some depth.
But the trophy bomb, that's a real head-scratcher.
Is it a weapon, a distraction, bait for some mutated monstrosity?
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm picturing a bomb that explodes into a shower of trophies just raining down on the wasteland.
Okay, maybe not, but the suspense is killing me.
And then there's the rotten fish in a can. What do you even do with that?
Is it bait? A prank item? Some kind of bizarre survival food?
Who knows, but it's definitely got people talking.
And that's what I love about these updates. The mystery, the anticipation, gets everyone buzzing.
Speaking of things that get people buzzing, let's talk about time-based crafting.
Ah, yes. The feature that everyone loves to complain about.
But hold on, there might be a glimmer of hope hidden in those leaked images.
Oh, you mean the little alarm clock icon next to the potassium and sulfur bags?
That's the one. Could it be a sign that they're changing things up?
It's possible. Maybe a way to speed up crafting or a notification system for when your items are done.
That would be huge. The community has been asking for quality of life improvements to crafting for ages.
It would definitely be a welcome change, but we'll have to wait for the official announcement to know for sure.
The anticipation is killing me, but in the meantime, we have an important award to give out.
This week's Wasteland Hero Award goes to, drumroll please, Yi-Fi. 08908.
for their incredible act of kindness, helping out a fellow survivor in need.
They truly embody the spirit of the DayR community, reminding us that even in the toughest of times, there's still room for compassion.
Absolutely. UV89908, you're a true inspiration.
And to all you survivors out there, if you see someone struggling, lend a hand. It might just make their day.
So that's it for our deep dive into the DayR community.
We've had a blast exploring the forums, uncovering all the latest gossip, tips, and strategies.
But the conversation doesn't end here.
Head over to the comments. Let us know what you think about the upcoming update. Share your predictions, your hopes, your fears.
We want to hear it all. And who knows, maybe your comment will inspire our next deep dive.
So until then, stay safe out there, survivors. Keep your wits about you, and may your batteries never run dry.